Howdy on Wellx Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Oh, we have a good chunk of rotting flesh here. I think I'm gonna work on a little bit of farming here. I need to get, I don't even know. What do I need for farming blocks? Oh, nitrate powder is the other one. 139. That didn't say nitrate, did it? It said niter. It did say nitrate powder. Isn't that the stuff you mine out of the ground? I'm gonna go look for some. I can't remember. I've made it to the point where I'm pretty sure it's the same stuff you use in bullets, right? Or in gunpowder. Am I wrong? I feel like it's the same stuff. Well, man, I'll tell you what, I'm doing horrible at, keeping my recording scheduling going here lately. I started playing that V Rising, and then I play it on a single player world. So I can try things out, and then next thing I know, my entire afternoon of free time is gone, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't record anything, and now it's too late. And then this weekend was Enshrouded. I put quite a bit into Enshrouded yesterday, so I didn't get a whole lot done yesterday either. I'm hoping to squeeze out at least the 7 Days to Die today. I know I've started it, but that doesn't mean somebody's not gonna come down and interrupt me. It is I haven't even eaten breakfast yet, so it's pretty early in the day. Because I know I won't have time this afternoon or tonight. Yeah, V Rising's been pretty fun so far. We're definitely pushing a bit farther than I've ever played it before. Stop and get these nests. Oh, the nests disappear now? I didn't know that. Guess I didn't pay attention. Did they disappear before? I don't remember, man. One time I played a modded version of this game, and they had chicken coops. And I don't know why that's not a thing. Make my life so much easier if I had chicken coop. Okay. I was on the bike, and I saw a zombie, and I thought I also saw a nest. And I hop off the bike, and I see the zombie. Did I think this was a nest? Is that what happened? buddy, do you see a nest around here somewhere? But yeah, V Rising's been pretty fun. I gotta admit, I'm liking it way better than Valheim. The powers are cooler. I don't know if the building is better on Valheim. I'm not that big of a builder. I'd like to be, but I tend to just build giant boxes with roofs on them, honestly. Our current problem with V-Rising is that we don't have room for all of the machinery. And so, the one guy, oh, here's the stuff I was looking for. The one guy, he was gone, and, for work. And so it's just me and Dim, and, oop, that is not my pickaxe. And, yeah, it's nitrate powder. Weird. Wasn't it niter before? Alright, so I need to add... nitrate. And, so he told us to go ahead and go without him. Because the thing is you have to be there for the boss kills to get the powers off of them. But the bosses respawn real quick, so it's not that big a deal. We can just run around and kill the bosses real quick tonight when he's on. And, you know, they're a bit easier once you know how they work. And so we just made it into new territory, and there's not enough room in our old base for all the stuff, and so it's pretty crazy. Dim loves to have other people's opinions, and then not the people he plays with, just other people's opinions. And so his favorite thing to do is to go on Reddit and then tell us we're wrong. And so with oh yeah, I'm gonna need clay as well. So with it just being me and not me and Zahn, Dim has been, you know, I'm the only one to talk to, so I've been getting a lot of, you know, you're doing it wrong. You know, it's not what Reddit says. I'm just like, oh man. Oof, you and Reddit, I tell ya. Okay, I have got to switch these. And so, you know, we'll be going, and the game's got like a list of bosses. So it's not like you have to try and figure out where the bosses are at or anything. You just, you can look at them on this map, and it'll tell you, what they're gonna unlock when you kill them, because you get powers, you get recipes, stuff like that off of a boss when you kill it, and so it'll tell you. It tells you right in the game. And so you just, you select them, and then you click track them, and then you can smell their blood, because V-Rising, you're a vampire. And so, you know, they have an order in there, kind of what they expect you to do, but we've skipped around a bit, because we're looking for specific powers or whatever. I know we ran into like Tristan the Vampire Hunter, and he's in the first area for some reason, but he's like 3 or 4 sections up in the second act for some reason. And so we'd already killed him well before we got to the second act. In fact, we're not even to his level of bosses yet, I don't think. And so, you know, it's not like you have to go in order, but man, he goes on Reddit and he's like, well, this is the order they suggest you do the bosses in. I'm like, yeah, but this one's like right here. And he's like, well, that's not the order that they say you should do it in. I'm like, okay, but it's right here. I'm just gonna fight it and kill it then. I mean, we can, but, you know, they said it's better if you do this other thing and then you can get this other gear that makes the fight with him really easy. I'm like, well, he doesn't seem too bad now. I've already come down to half health by myself. While you've been standing there talking about what Reddit said we should do. And, you know, so it can drive you a little insane. I'm not gonna lie. And so this last week, last session, I mean, we made it into the second act, and so we're moving from like coarse thread and copper weapons to cotton thread and iron weapons. And so stuff's kind of tough. It's quite a jump up because the places to get iron are heavily guarded a lot of the times, and it takes a lot. It's one of those games. I don't know who thought it was okay for survival games to require ridiculous amounts of raw resources to do things. I don't know why they ever thought that was going to be a good idea. I know almost every survival game is like that, and I hate it. And so that's one thing I wish was different in V Rising for sure. I don't think it should take 15 iron ore to make a single ingot, and then require like 30 ingots to make something, right? Because you get like 70 iron ore off of a single iron node, right? Well, that seems like a lot, and it fills up your inventory space real good. But then when you get it back and throw it in to the forge, and then it's like a minute and a half per ingot, and you brought back, you know, 200 iron total, but then you got to divide that by 15, and then you're like, oh, well, I didn't even get anywhere near enough to what I needed. And so, yeah, I don't like that part. We need so much iron, and it takes so long. We have 3 forges going now. Trying to make the stuff, and then like even worse, I think, might be the cotton. As far as we can tell so far, we don't have any seeds, and seeds are really rare in the game, so it's not like you can plant a bunch of stuff. And maybe we could buy it. We should look for a merchant and see if they sell cotton seeds. But they only have a few little tiny farms with cotton on them. And you go through and, you know, you come out the other side and you're like, oh man, I got like 100 cotton. And then you go back to your base and you realize that 100 cotton is like 3 thread. And you need like 12 to make your piece of armor. And you're like, oh, well, I guess that's not working out. And then you gotta wait for it to respawn. But the rest of the game is pretty fun. It looks nice. The fights are pretty fun. Only a couple of them have been what I would say overly hard. And they're only hard because of terrain issues. Bosses are locked. Well, not all of them, but some of the bosses are locked to a specific area, and so if you move too far away, they'll reset their health. And so we were fighting this one guy. I don't remember what his name was, but he's at the back of this graveyard, and that's not a problem, getting to the back of the graveyard, whatever. But he's on this tiny little strip of land and he won't come off of that tiny strip of land without resetting, and he casts like a dozen ads that are heavily armored, and he throws down no, he doesn't throw down, he makes like rings of flying flaming skulls that shoot out to hit you. And so there's not enough room to really get into the fight. And so we died so many times trying to get through that guy. We did, but it took a while because of how many ads and things like that were happening. But yeah, it was pretty fun. We might play Enshrouded. I don't know. I did buy Enshrouded, and I did play that quite a bit. But right now we're working on V Rising. I don't think we're quite halfway. I don't know how big V Rising is, but yeah. So the castle's not big enough, and so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go look for a new place at the end of our last session. I'm gonna go look for a new place to build a castle because they've got. I think you can build a castle pretty much anywhere you want that's not inside of NPC's claimed territory. There's a lot of the map is just open to anybody, and then there are sections that highlight when you hold your mouse over them that indicate there's special spots. And so there's some things like explosive bombs that you can use to do some of the heavier mining. They have like special nodes occasionally, and you can't use those inside the claimed NPC territories like cities and camps and stuff like that. And so I don't think you could probably build inside an enemy territory. That would be a little weird, but the rest of it is pretty open. There's like a lot of ruins that you can knock down and build where they're at and stuff. And so the first place we picked out was too narrow. I felt it was probably too narrow when we first went there, but I didn't know because this is farther than I've ever been in the game. But the way it works is you got different machines. So like the forge room, just the forge room, for example. You have forges, and like I said, it's like 1.5 minutes right now to cook one iron ingot. So you want multiple forges, and then you need workbenches, and so different machines take different types of rooms. Oh well, just broke my poor little stone tool there, and so how are we doing on clay, by the way? Oh yeah, we're over 1,000. That's my goal, was to get 1,000. All right, so there's my bike. So you stay there for a minute, because the next thing I gotta do is get wood. And so, so you gotta build a room, and then you build. If you get access to the appropriate flooring, then you get bonuses for that. And so if they're in a room, an enclosed room, they get a bonus. If you put them on the proper flooring, they get a bonus. And so we want all that. We want all that because if you get the bonuses are like it processes raw materials faster, and so yeah, it's probably more than 1.5 minutes because we have the bonuses for the forges, and then there's also you take less materials to make things, and so. So like we've got 3 forges, we've got the workbench, we've got chests to hold the raw materials. Well then we've moved up to the next tier, so now there are new machines that need to go into the forge room to get the forge bonuses. And the room I had was too small to add in the next thing, and so there's enough space for all the different rooms that we have to have, because there's a forge room, there's an alchemy room, there's a tailoring room, There's the workshop room. There's the forge. Did I say forge room already? I don't know. There's the crypt, I think, is another thing we haven't built yet. We need a place for our coffins. We need a place for the throne. We need a place for our servants' coffins. We just ran out of room on the little plateau that we built on. So I go out and I look for a new plateau. And I'm like, Dim is like, we should probably build in the new territory. I'm like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. We should move over there since we're going to be operating out of there now that we've cleared most of the previous territory. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go look for a spot. And so I'm looking on the map, and you can see the different plateaus where you can build on the map. And so I'm looking for a big one. And I'm like, well, there's a big one right here. Where's my bike? I done lost my bike. I see it on the map, though. Or on the compass. And he's like, yeah, you should build it there because that's close to the teleporter. I'm like, well, we can build our own teleporters now, so I can build it anywhere. I'm like, I'm gonna look for a bigger plateau, I think, and maybe something a little deeper in. And so I'm looking around, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go out and check out this one, and I marked on the map where I thought would be a good place. And he's like, you know what? Maybe we should check Reddit and see what Reddit says. And I'm like, dude, I can just go look at it. We don't need Reddit to tell us whether or not it's any good. I can just go look. And he's like, yeah, but Reddit will tell us where the best places are to build the maps or to build the castle in the new territory. I'm like, but dude, I can just do it. I can just go do it. I go look. It's fine. It's a game, dude. I can take a look. Why can't I build more of these? I don't have enough clay soil. Okay. More soil. Oh, you know what? I did get some eggs. Oh, not a lot of eggs, though. Bacon and eggs. Wow, it takes a lot of eggs. Alright, let me go grab some more clay. So, oh, I didn't even check my chest. I might have some up here. So I run over to take a look at the place, and I'm looking at a couple different places. Oh yeah, no, I did not have a lot of clay up here. Never mind. And, so look at the first one that I was thinking of, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this one. It's a little too, not symmetrical. And not that it has to be symmetrical to build in, it's just that because of the weird, it's on a cliff, right? It's up on a plateau, and the indentations where the cliffs are at would make it hard to build around, and you can't build over things. You have to have flat ground in this game to build on, basically. It's not one where you can build on top of things, and so I can't put a platform over top of a gap and then build on top of that platform. I gotta have the ground there to be able to build on it. And so I'm like, I don't think this one's gonna be big enough because we need some pretty big rooms when we upgrade to the next tier here. And we haven't gotten any tailoring flooring going. We don't have a tailoring room yet. We don't really have an alchemy room. I shoved there's a paper thing. We don't have a research room. We don't have I think it's a library, maybe. We don't have the crypt. We need so many more rooms than what we have access to currently. And we can build higher floors. There's stairways, so you can definitely build up. We had a second stairway, or second floor. But I'm like, I'm still gonna run into the same problem where I need bigger rooms, and the area we're in is so narrow. I can get like 3 rooms maybe on a floor, and I don't want to be, constantly running up and down stairs because I need the workroom, the library, the tailoring shop, the the forge. I'm already running between 2 rooms as it is, so or 2 floors as it is. I'd rather not have to keep going up the stairs. And so I make it out to the spot I wanna do. He's like, all right, I found it. I found it. Here's the map. This map tells you where you should build. You're not in a spot. I'm telling you right now, man. You're not in a spot where it says you should build. I'm like, but it looks fine and it's pretty big. And I mean, I don't see any other territory that's really much better in size-wise than this. I know it's a little out to the edge, away from, you know, anything important, but we can build a teleporter and we can teleport right into the middle of the map from where we're at, because there's I don't know how to even say it. There's natural teleporters, there's already in place map teleporters, I guess, and then you can build your own, and it just has to be in your territory. So I plop down a castle heart, then I can plop down a teleporter, and we'll be able to teleport directly to that spot. So, and we can teleport from that spot to any place where we found the natural or the, you know, the map pre-built teleporters. So I don't see why it's such a big deal. And so he gives me this map, you know, posts it into Discord, and so we're looking at Discord at it, and I'm like, dude, I don't think this is the right map. And he's like, no, this is what it says right here on red. These are the best places in the current act to build castles. This is where you want to build your castle, it says. I'm like, okay, but I mean, it's not. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude, this map is out of date. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, look at the map. He's like, okay, now look at the map you just gave me. He's like, okay. So it shows you the best place to build map. You're not in a spot where it says you should build the castle. And I'm like, yeah, but dude, your map doesn't line up to what I'm looking at for our map. There's more to our map than that map you just gave me. The places marked on the map you're trying to tell me where I should build do not actually correlate to what we have available. That's what I'm saying, okay? He's like, yeah, but this is supposed to be the best place to build. I'm like, I can't help it. Look on the left. There's like a big weird ankh shape, okay, on the map. Do you see that? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Now look at the mountain that's visible on the map. Yeah. Are they in a direct line? No. I'm like, okay, now look at the map you just posted telling me where I should build. Okay. I'm like, look on the left. Do you see the ankh? He's like, yeah. I'm like, now look to the right of the ankh. Is that not the same mountain that is now northeast of the ankh? Maybe. I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's in a straight line from the ankh to the east on the map you're trying to tell me I should use to figure out where to build. But on our map, it's way to the northeast. So they're not even the same map anymore. Alright, fine. I guess you can just build wherever you want then, and I'm like, I'm gonna. You didn't build the last castle. You want to build a castle? Go right ahead. Everybody gets two hearts, as far as I can tell. So I'm gonna use my second castle heart tonight when we play to start building a new castle. Ooh, I'm gonna have to build some more territory here. Do I want to just... I was gonna leave that empty so I could walk between, but eh. What do I do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Potatoes. What about potato seeds? I also need corn. And goldenrod. Actually, don't I need like Yucca is what I need. Do I have any yucca yet? There we go. Okay. Potato recipes. Potato seeds. Seed me up. Oh, but it's gonna be like a year, right? Because I'm making stuff, so it'll be a bit before I actually get seeds. Okay. Well, let's get the corn in here, and then let's do the yucca. And then let's go ahead and corn seed this up. I don't even know. I don't even know if this is what I'm after, to be honest. I can't make any goldenrod seeds. I don't know what cooking looks like now. I just know these are the ingredients that I normally have to have. Okay. What are we at here now? 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ugh, I need one more. Gotta build a whole nother section here. What this means. Alright. And then Enshrouded. I want to talk about Enshrouded real quick here. Enshrouded's pretty good so far. It's a little light, I think, in content. Combat's pretty good. It's not dissimilar from V-Rising or Valheim, but like I think Valheim was a little light on content, personally, and oops. Dang it. You just go where I want you. Stop flipping around on me. But, you know, I think V-Rising's a good combination. It's pretty rare for you to go very far without running into a bad guy you have to fight. There's a lot of different things to do. There's a lot of powers. Valheim was okay. Good selection of bad guys at the start, but as you start to, oh, I need on top of this other building here. As you start to, get farther in the game, then those bad guys just become annoying. Is it 4? That? Jeez. And, because you just keep running into the same bad guys over and over, right? But then you're like, okay, but at this point in the game, these bad guys are weak. And so now you're fighting these really weak bad guys who are just, I don't even know why they're attacking you. Because I know there was a point in the game where there's these little dudes. Oh, I can't remember what they're called, but they're like these little lizard guys. And they're like the very first guys you come across, right? You punch these guys to death without any equipment. And so, you know, they're super easy. And there's a point in the game where they run away from you. But then, as you level up some more, they stop running away from you and they start attacking you. But they're so weak that they can't even hurt you. And so, like, what's the point of them attacking you? I don't get it. And then there's these, the next level up guys. If you're careful, you can punch them to death. and they're like graylings or something like that. And so they're also super annoying. And when you get at the higher, well, at the low levels, right, they're dangerous. But at the high levels, they're just annoying at that point. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. I want rows of 10. And so, you know, it gets. I don't count that as good content, I guess. Running into the same low level bad guys. There are some guys who appear later in the game that are tougher, that appear in the low level areas, but for the most part, you're just stuck with these low level bad guys just being annoying. I'm sorry, didn't I tell you to make seeds? Why did you not make the seeds? Oh, I don't have the skill to make the seeds. Oh. Oh. Well, that's disappointing. So Enshrouded has like no content in between places or just randomly wandering around for the most part. It's very, very light on content. You have to go to areas where there are buildings, basically, for there to be anything to fight. And so I think that's too light in content. I don't want to be annoyed constantly, but you know, other than some wolves running around, I've never seen anything, I don't think, out in the open areas. That's not true. I did run into a small pack of some of the bad guys. I don't know what they're called, but I did run into a small pack of them at one point yesterday, I think. But for the most part, you just wander around these big empty areas, and I'm like, okay, I think maybe we need to add some more content to this game. I know it's early access and it just came out, but and it's pretty cool. I mean, what they've got done so far. But you know, like the first, they send you to this place, and you have to chop down this giant mushroom thing because that's what the game is about. There's giant mushroom stuff, and it's poisonous, right? 1, 2. Oh man, I can't. I really should probably tear some of this stuff down so I can build on actual, you know, the ground. But so you go to this place where they tell you to go to, and there's a giant mushroom thing you've got to chop down. But there's like a boss at the first one you go to, right? And he's super tough. He's super tough compared to everything else you've faced so far. And that's cool. You know, I liked the boss. I liked, it was a tough fight, and I got through it by using heal potions. But, you know, it was a really tough fight. And I took him down, and then I was able to chop down the giant mushroom thingy. And so that was interesting. Well, the second time I went to one of those, there was no boss guy. I just walked up and chopped down the thingy. I'm like, okay, well, that's disappointing. I thought these would be like, everyone would have a different giant mushroom boss guy at it. Why can't I make that jump? Also, why am I trying to make that jump? I can just jump right here. I think my hunger is getting to me here. And, so that was a little disappointing. And then the third one I went to, the mushroom itself was basically unguarded, and there was a spot where I could just jump down to it right from the beginning of the little dungeons that they're in. Oh, great. Well, this is gonna hurt, because clearly, well, yep, I failed to make that jump at all. And, so, I mean, there was a boss guy, like, I mean, it wasn't even a boss guy, I guess. I thought he was a boss guy at the first one, because I'm pretty sure he got, like, a little, did he get a cutscene, or was he just, like, super crazy and running at me? I don't remember. I feel like there was a cutscene the first time you see him. But there's another one of those guys at the third mushroom. I forget what those little places are called. They have a special name for them. And so you know, I went and I chopped down the tree, and then I turned, and he was standing in a completely different area. So he wasn't even there to defend the mushroom, and so I just shot arrows at him until he was dead from really far away. I'm like, okay. And then they dropped their heads, these guys. I've got 2 heads now from these giant guys, and I have no idea what to do with them. And I guess my biggest disappointment in the game was I saw that you get NPCs, and I thought the NPCs would do something for me. But all they are is you go out and you go to these places and you get the NPC. You don't even get the NPC, which you usually go to the place, and then it says awaken, whatever they're called. And then you click on it, and then that gives you the ability to summon them back at your base. You didn't talk to them or anything like that. It just says that you can summon them now at your base. And so then you go back to your base and you use this summoning staff, and then you can place them down in your base that you're building. And then they'll tell you, I need shelter, I need, you know, this other stuff. And so you build them a little house, and you put them inside their little house, and then when you click on them, they'll have like tools, like workbenches and things like that. I think the last guy I got was the alchemist. He had like a grinding stone, and so you can. They're just a list of recipes and maybe some quests, but they don't actually do anything. They just stand there, and I thought that was kind of disappointing. I thought they'd like work. I thought they would like go out and do things. Like, I'm like, all right, I get the blacksmith, and then I can keep him supplied with, you know, raw materials, and he'll make me the nails and the plates and whatever. No, he just lets you build. He just lets you build the machine that makes the metal plates, and then you just put the raw materials into those things, and then it takes time. You don't have to stand there and do it. You just got to wait for the timer to run out. And so that's a little disappointing. I would have liked to have had interactive NPCs, I guess. Or, you know, NPCs that interact with the world, is what I mean. Rather than just guys who stand there that happen to be recipe books. Because, I mean, that's what they are. It'd be like, this is the NPC, right? I went and I got the water collector NPC. And then I'd come up and I would click on him. And then he would just have a list of things that I can make, because I happen to have him standing in my base. That's it. That's all they do. So they're no different than having a forge, basically. I might as well be by myself. They don't do anything. All right, with that, be behind the small things, lean in the light. I'll talk to you later.